teachings. At last, the rebuilding was finished, and the people had a city to be proud of. Now it was time to dedicate the temple again and show everyone that it was God's house. Nehemiah was now governor of the city. He asked Ezra the priest to come back to Jerusalem and explain to the people how to worship properly. Ezra was very wise. He knew a great deal about the Bible and the laws that God had given to his people through Moses. He asked everyone to come to a big outdoor meeting in the middle of the city. A wooden platform was built for Ezra to stand on so everyone could see and hear him. Ezra stood on the platform and read from the laws of Moses. Everyone listened. After a while, the people began to realize that they had not been living accordingly to God's law. Many began to sob. "We are sinners," they said. "What shall we do?" "Don't be sad," said Ezra. "If you are truly sorry, God will forgive you." And Nehemiah said, "Today is a holy day. Go home and celebrate. Share your food with anyone who doesn't have enough. God will give you joy and strength." So the people began to celebrate with joy. They had heard God's words and they had understood them. They knew they wanted to worship God properly. It was nearly time for the festival of booths, and when the Jewish people remembered the 40 years they spent in the wilderness. But the people had forgotten how to celebrate this. Ezra was happy to explain them, and they were very glad to be able to worship again God in the best way. It was time for a new beginning. That's our story for today.
Binibigyan daw po tayo ni Lord ng second chance.
Share what God give to you.
Ano?
I-share mo daw kung ano ito yung binibigay ni Lord sa'yo.
Okay. Ikaw naman, te.
I-share na po natin yung parang word ni God. At i-give po natin ng mga tao ng blessing na binibigay din ni God sa'yo.
Ako, if only, alam nyo, para sa akin ha, oo, pwede sigurong nakalimutan natin yung mga, kung paano dapat tayo mamuhay, kung paano dapat tayo sumunod kay Lord sa buhay, di ba? Maaaring nakalimutan natin yun, pero, we can always start, di ba? Pwede tayo ulit mag-start. And that's how are we gonna do it? How do we begin again? Simple lang. You just have to say sorry to the Lord, ask for forgiveness, and then hayaan mo siya ang mag-manifest sa buhay mo. Or siya ang manguna sa buhay mo. Ako, that's the best way on how we should begin living a life with the Lord. First, to ask for forgiveness. Whatever our sins may be, malaki man yan o maliit, kailangan natin humingi sa Diyos ng kapatawaran.
Hindi lang sa Diyos.
Siyempre sa ibang tao rin na nasaktan natin.
Hindi lang sa ibang tao.
Oh, sino pa?
Sa magulang nyo.
Mm.
Hindi nyo alam sakripisyo nila.
Tama. Yeah, so magpapalala sa mga taong nasasaktan natin. Kasi pag hindi tayo marunong magpakumbaba, hindi rin tayo papatawarin ng Diyos sa mga kasalanan natin. Dapat, sabi diba, forgive as you forgive others. Or as God forgives you. Diba? So dapat, before you ask God for forgiveness, that humingi ka rin ng tawad sa mga taong na saktan mo. That's our story and lesson for today.